Okay, good morning guys, welcome back to another quality video on this YouTube channel. Right now it is Monday the 10th of June and yesterday was the Lancaster Grand Prix. I'm going to get into a little bit of detail about the race and how it unfolded and everything, but before I do, I kind of just want to bring you guys up to speed a little bit with the channel as a whole. And I don't know, I don't really like the word channel update because everyone uses that, but I think that it's a fairly appropriate kind of word. Prior to the last couple of weeks, we had a great schedule of like the last 4 weeks. I had a great schedule of daily videos and daily uploads every single day at 4 p.m. and you know, we had a good schedule of doing that, and I don't think I missed a day for about 3 months. However, over the past month, that schedule has become a little bit more varied, and you know, I've been missing random days here and there. So people have been asking me, is it still going to be a daily vlog, or are you doing less content? Like, what's the situation? When are you going to be doing regular videos again? So I thought, instead of replying to everyone individually, I'd just make a little bit of a video with an update to kind of where I'm at in terms of like my channel and everything else. There's one reason that there's been less videos on the channel, one reason, and that is a word that I like to use called focus. And over the past, I don't know, probably month or 2 months, I've just been starting to focus a lot more on like myself as a cyclist rather than a YouTuber. And what I mean by that is like in terms of just like getting my training done like how I'm supposed to be doing it, rather than thinking about doing a set of efforts and then, oh, I need to vlog about this to talk about the efforts when I should be riding at a certain power, but I can't ride at the certain power because I've got the camera out. In the past, I would put the camera first, and not kind of worry too much about the effort or what I'm supposed to be doing. A couple of months ago, I had a light bulb moment where I was like, you know what, if we're gonna do this, if we're gonna try and be a bike racer, then why don't we try and do it properly? And even the little things, like when I come home from training, normally I would go and do something else to kind of make the content for the channel, or try and do something interesting or fun. But again, you know, I've just had my feet up, watching TV series, recovering, trying to get the most out of my body. On rest days, instead of spinning down to the cafe, which, you know, it inhibits your recovery because you're getting out on the bike and you're sat in a cafe and you kit for an hour, and then you're riding home, and even though it's an easy ride, you're still moving the body and you're still doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing on a rest day. All of that stuff I've kind of just taken out of my life at the minute, and the focus is literally on my training and my racing and trying to make myself a better bike rider every single day. Unfortunately, at the minute, the channel has suffered because of that. However, in positive news, you know, it's starting to pay off. Like, I feel like I'm finally starting to get somewhere with this, like this whole thing. Notably, a couple of weeks ago at the Durham Tour Series round, I got second, probably my best ever result out on the road. You know, yesterday in Lancaster Grand Prix, I'm going to get into more detail, but I spent, you know, I instigated the breakaway, and I spent my day in a 3-up breakaway with probably 2 of the strongest time trialists in the country. So, you know, I feel like I'm getting somewhere finally, and it's all about finding a balance between like trying to create the content about this journey and also actually living the journey. I think moving forward, if I'm going to try and get back up to a daily schedule, I'm gonna have to employ the help of someone else to just come around with me and help me film and help me, you know, edit and produce these videos, especially on race days. You know, when you've got the stresses of being at a bike race and warming up and doing everything else that comes with a bike race, the last thing that's kind of at the forefront of your mind is making a video. So if I've got the help of someone else to do that, then it's gonna make things a lot easier. But at the minute, it's just about figuring out what I want to do and where I want to take it. But anyway, now I've given you that little bit of an update on the channel, I'm gonna do a little bit of a flashback, and this is actually 2 days ago now, which was the Lancaster Grand Prix day. Alright guys, good morning and welcome your faces back to a brand new video. I've got a few things that I need to explain to you today to bring you up to speed as to what's going on, etc, etc. Right now, I'm taking my bike outside because I need to wash it ahead of racing this evening. The vlog is only just starting now, it's around midday. I have trained already today. I've just done an hour standard pre-race ride on the indoor trainer because, man, it's just a grim day. Like, it's wet and it's cold, and when I'm just doing a 1 hour pre-race ride, there's just not a whole lot of point going out and getting wet and cold and damp. So I did my session on the turbo, not the rollers, and right now we're going to give it a wash ahead of the Lancaster Grand Prix, which is tomorrow. Just been to the shop and bought myself a new 5-litre bottle of gunk degreaser. Guys, I've used a whole load of brands of degreasers over the years, like for chains and drive trains and stuff, and like Gunk is undoubtedly the best I've ever used, and I'm yet to find a better brand that degreases your chain and gets it looking sweet. This isn't actually a bike brand. I think it's for like cars and I don't know, machinery and stuff. But if you're serious about degreasing your chain, guys, I'd recommend you getting yourself some Gunk. This is a 5 litre. This is a 5 litre canister. Normally I just get the 1 litre, which is like £8. But they had the 5 litre on special offer for 22. I mean, they're basically giving it away. So now I'm gonna put my hood up because I've got to stand outside in the rain to wash my bike. Maybe if I just leave it in the rain, it'll wash itself. That's probably not a good idea, actually. So this is what you do, guys. You get your Gunk, you get a water bottle. I've got this old Zwift bottle, cut it in half, a paintbrush, and all you do is just open this thing up, pour a little bit of degreaser into your bottle. You don't need a lot because it is strong stuff. That'll do. And all we're gonna do is have a little painting lesson, paint this onto the chain, onto like all the cassettes and the cogs and the chain rings, and leave it on for a couple of minutes and literally just wash it off with a hose, and the chain will be looking basically like new. Alright, excuse the kitchen, but that is the bike. Absolutely gleaming ahead of racing tomorrow. I reckon I spent about an hour just like detailing all the little parts inside the brakes, getting the chain running absolutely sweet, man. That is the ceramic speed bottom bracket and rear derailleur right there. Look at that, there's absolutely no friction, man. Ho ho ho, she is clean. Job done. Tomorrow, Lancaster Grand Prix. It's the next round of the HSBC Elite Road Series, and it's also it's the inaugural version of this race. It's the first time that they've done this race, and since Chorley GP has been taken off the calendar, it's now like my local round. It's only about half an hour to the circuit in the morning, so the boys that have travelled up, like Steve, Will, and the rest of the lads, they're staying in a hotel, obviously. But for me, because I'm so close to the circuit, it's kind of a waste of money buying another room or getting one extra room for tonight. So I'm staying at home, and then I'm just going to travel up in the morning to the HQ. But I've been to the team hotel right now. I've just got back because I've dropped my bike off with the team mechanic. Before every big race, the mechanic gives the bike a complete run over, makes sure all the cables are sweet, make sure the chain isn't stretched, and just gives the bike a complete check over, make sure everything is running sweet as can. I mean, it is all running sweet, but the mechanic just likes to give it that once over. So I've been to drop my bike off. I'm back home now. It is absolutely, guys, boys, ladies, boys, girls, ladies, what is this weather, man? What is this weather? Today is a pre-race day. It's all about taking it easy and chilling and recovering. Felt pretty tired on the turbo this morning, I'm not gonna lie. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm just gonna head into the local cafe. I've got my laptop here. I need to edit a video and drink plenty of coffee. But the cafe is that building there, and it's about probably 20 steps away. Nah, don't wanna do it. Don't wanna do it. Okay, that is yesterday's vlog edited and uploaded onto the interwebs. I'm gonna go home right now because, I've gotta go home because Ollie, my teammate who you all know, is staying at my house tonight. He lives a few hours away, but because the team's staying in a hotel and to save them having to buy another room like I just mentioned, Ollie's gonna stay at my house with me, and it is now 3 o'clock and he is about to arrive. So let's go home and see Ollie. Weather update, still wet. But I did say in my vlog 3 days ago that the forecast said there's going to be 3 days of like real bad weather, real bad rain. And since Thursday, it's rained all Thursday afternoon, all Friday, all Saturday so far. But tomorrow, Sunday, if we load up the weather forecast thing, tomorrow, guys, as you can see in Lancaster, if we click onto Sunday, it's going to be, from the race starting at 11, it's gonna be dry all day. So I am pumped about that because there's nothing worse than racing. I mean, training in the rain, it's not ideal, but I'll do it. Racing in the rain is grim. And more so this year because the thing is, like in the UK anyway, half the bunch are on disc brakes, like half the teams are on disc brake bikes and half the teams aren't on disc brake bikes. So like when it's wet, the guys with disc brakes are stopping as quick as they are in the dry, but then the guys in the rim brakes aren't able to stop as quick as the guys in the disc brakes, and it can just cause a little bit of chaos. Okay, now you're caught up to speed with the pre-race day. Now let's jump in to Lancaster Grand Prix. This year was the inaugural version of the race. It was the first ever one, part of the HSBC Elite Road Series, and it's also my new local race. We used to have Chorley GP, but this year Chorley GP wasn't on the calendar. However, Lancaster Grand Prix kind of stepped in place of the Chorley Grand Prix. So it's on a course called the Dolphinholme Circuit, which I recce'd a couple of weeks ago. It's a pretty savage circuit. It's a great racing circuit, big wide open roads, but all day it's just up and down. It was windy, and it's kind of one of those courses that you never really get any respite, because as soon as you start going down a descent, you got a sharp climb, or you're into a turn and you're braking and you're sprinting out of the turn. It's one of those circuits where it's just on all day long. So basically the way it worked was it was a 10k out to a circuit. We did, I think it was 7 laps of a circuit, and then a 10k finish run back into the finish, which finished in the middle of Lancaster. We'd ridden out to the circuit. We'd done I think 2 laps, and I think it was the third time up the climb. I looked behind me. We're at the top of the climb. I was at the front of the bunch with Steve, and I looked behind me, and there was literally 25 guys left in the group. There was 120 starters, and I think over 90 guys had been dropped already, like 3 laps into the race. Like, that's how hard this circuit is. We got to the top of the climb, and I was like, I feel good. So I said to Steve, like I said, I'm feeling good. I was like, there's not a breakaway. There's no breakaway, is there? And he said, no, like no one's up the road. And I was like, all right, okay. And he goes, but make one, go and attack. So I was like, okay. So basically, as we crested the top of the climb, I hit it on my own, and I went off the front after about 10 seconds. I turned around, saw that it was just me on my own, and I mean, it's kind of pointless just being away on your own. So I sort of eased up a little bit, and then I noticed that 2 other guys jumped out of the bunch and were coming across to me. So then I started pressing on again. Long story short, I got myself into a 3-up break with two other guys. They were John Archibald and Edmund Bradbury, probably 2 of the best time trialists. John's a pursuiter on the track. 2 of what are probably the strongest riders in the country. On that kind of effort in a time trial situation. As soon as I saw those 2 guys coming across to me, I knew I was going to be in for a hard shift. And then ultimately it was pretty standard breakaway stuff. We're all rolling through, taking turns.
Go, come.
Probably between 30 seconds and a minute each. With only 3 of us in the group, it wasn't ideal because you never really got that adequate recovery. Ideally you want 4 or 5 people, then you can have a few minutes to rest. But hey, we had 3 people, so we made the best of the situation that we were in. The gap hovered at around a minute for quite a while, and then we just kept riding, just pressing on, and eventually, we managed to establish a gap of 3 minutes at about 40k to go. Then we were informed that the Canyon Iceberg team had, I think, 5 guys in the group behind, and they were starting to chase this move back. So as a consequence, we obviously had to start riding harder. And I think it was around 30k to go. We had 2 laps to go up the climb. As we hit the climb for the penultimate time, like, that's when my legs just went pop. If you have watched the Eurosport coverage, you will have seen this happen. But we literally got to the bottom of the climb, and like, I got out of the saddle and I started cramping, and I just literally had nothing. I literally had nothing. We still had a 3-minute advantage. So basically, I got dropped off that group, and I thought, if I can get over the climb on my own, and then get as far around the circuit as I can before the bunch catches me behind, then I'll have more of a chance of staying with those guys and staying at the front of the race. I did that. The group caught me, the main group caught me, which was probably down to about 12 riders at this stage. They caught me just before the bottom of the final time of the climb, and man, they rode so hard at that last time of the climb. The group caught me and went straight through me, and then I went off the back, and then I was on my own again. I rode the majority of the last circuit on my own, and then just before the 10k run-in, like the kind of the second group on the road, which is another bunch of about 10 or 15 riders, they caught me, and then I managed to, because all the main climbing had been done, I managed to hang on with those guys to the finish line. But from the moment that I got distance from the breakaway, it was like the end of my race. I was absolutely cooked, man. It was 4 hours. It was 160k, and my normalized power was 320 watts, and my TSS was over 300. So
Like, it was an absolutely brutal day on the bike. But after I come across the line and after it was all said and done, you know, upon reflection, like, I'm so happy that I was able to do that in that day. You know, I'm not saying I would have been there in the finish had I not instigated that breakaway, but, you know, getting out in the front of the race with the TV cameras on you and like taking turns and just being strong enough to be able to do that and to be able to ride in the breakaway, man. I feel like yesterday I made a huge step forward in like terms of like myself and what I'm capable of on the bike. The day was also rounded off with Steve picking up 5th. He also now takes the lead in the overall standings of the series. So he gets to wear a white jersey now for the next round, which is the Tour of the Mendips this Sunday. So all in all, for the team, it was a good day. It was a successful day. And yeah, got another week of training ahead of me now before the next round, the Tour of the Mendips, which is down in Bristol on Sunday. So for me personally, this week's just all about looking after myself. You know, I'm clearly improving. I'm clearly in good form at the minute. So for this week, it's kind of just looking after that, and yeah, let's see what we can do next Sunday. That is the end of today's video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support on the channel. I am absolutely broken today, like absolutely broken. Even just walking down the stairs hurts. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like. And with that being said, guys, I will see you tomorrow at the same time of 4 p.m. Peace!